and Ika began watching WWE in January 2025 during the Royal Rumble. Ika is brand new to WWE, while Kenny is returning for the first time in over 20 years. They appreciate your patience as they learn everybody's names and finishers, as well as past events concerning the WWE brand and or characters. They promise they will learn it all in due time.
We did our reaction to Saturday night's main event, and if you caught that, then you already know the big story coming out of the weekend, including Evolution, is the injury to Seth Rollins, his knee that buckled, and we got a little bit of an update about Seth Rollins last night from Triple H during the post-Evolution press conference. And, you know, whenever you have a story like this in wrestling, WWE circles, I find it best to go to at least an establishment news source. And today I chose USA Today, Jordan Mendoza. And at least, you know, here we're getting a breakdown of the facts as they exist now.
Okay.
Because rumors run rampant in the wrestling world. And there's already rumors running rampant about this story that I think, quite frankly, are irresponsible and reckless a little bit, unless you know for damn well sure that something's going on outside of like what it's perceived to be or what it looks like to be.
Okay.
But when a guy that has a history of knee injuries is carried off the floor, carried out of the ring by WWE, you know, that's either a really good sell job or it's a real injury. Mm-hmm. And I'm tending to feel like this was a real injury. The finish of the match just looked really
abrupt,
and I don't want to say botched because it didn't look botched, but it just looked like very strange. Like we're gonna huddle out in the corner for 5 minutes, only for me to get up for 30 seconds to get a stunner and pinned. Like it's not like he got okay, go back out there for 5 more minutes and you know,
do your thing.
Was so abrupt after like, yeah, you're good. Okay, you're out. Damn.
It did go fast.
Well, here's the headline, in case you can't read it for yourself yet. Seth Rollins injury update. Paul Triple H Levesque says WWE star, quote, doesn't look good, end quote. Probably the worst of the worst news that you could hope for if you're a big Seth Rollins fan like we are over here at the Kanika Sports Show. But let's get into it, Nika.
Sure. The
early prognosis for Seth Rollins' injury doesn't look good, quote. WWE Chief Content Officer Paul Triple H Levesque addressed Rollins' injury during his press conference following Evolution. He said it's, quote, a little bit inconclusive of what injury Rollins suffered on Saturday, July 13th, but the outlook is not good. Levesque expects to get an answer on Monday, July 14th, when Rollins sees a doctor. We'll get an MRI and hope for the best, Levesque said. See where we can go with that. And as you can see there, that's Triple H pictured at the press conference with the Maybelline sponsorship and the Evolution logo. What happened to Seth Rollins? It's a gloomy update one day after Rollins appeared to suffer a devastating injury during a televised match. Rollins faced LA Knight on Saturday night's main event, and during the match, he attempted a moonsault in the ring and his knee buckled. He immediately went down and grabbed his knee as he backed into the corner of the ring, with the referee and Paul Heyman checking in on him. And here you can see in the screenshot below, you can see where he was on the corner and the referee, and you can kind of see Paul Heyman there behind him. But that's where they were all checking on his seemingly messed up knee, according to WrestleOps on X/Twitter. A ringside doctor eventually came and talked with Rollins. After the brief discussion, Rollins got back to his feet and LA Knight hit the BFT, blunt force trauma, to set up the pin for the win. It came off as a quick adjustment to the ending. I agree. That's exactly how I would describe it. A very quick adjustment. After the match, people inside the arena took video of Rollins getting help leaving the ring, and one video on social media showed Rollins as clearly frustrated, with the wrestler barking expletives as he was assisted. Yes, there was a lot of F-bombs from Seth Rollins, apparently being frustrated that he has this now serious injury. PWInsider.com reported the finish to Rollins and LA Knight was changed when Rollins was hurt, as he was set to win the match.
Interesting.
The severity is unknown, but Rollins' injury is real and not part of a story. So that is what is being reported by Jordan Mendoza. Again, as I alluded to earlier, there are a lot of stories out there right now that perhaps this is a work. Perhaps this injury is not real. As we know now, as USA Today, Jordan Mendoza is reporting that it is real.
So we're just going to go with that.
That's what we're going to go with here on the Kanika Sports Show, as much as it pains me. I would love for this to be a work, honestly. All right. While the extent of Rollins' injury is still unavailable, it likely is a major injury for the Visionary and could potentially mean some big changes to storylines. Rollins is Mr. Money in the Bank, able to cash it in for a championship opportunity at any time, and there was speculation he would do it at Saturday night's main event. Interesting. When you factor in all the Goldberg, his speech was cut short and stuff, it makes you wonder a little bit what was going to happen. All right. Plus, he is still riding the momentum of his WrestleMania 41 victory and was leading a stable with Braun Breaker, Bronson Reed, and Paul Heyman. The menacing group was also involved in storylines with Jey Uso, Sami Zayn, and Penta. All true. Seth Rollins' injury history, constant knee injuries. The injury is just the latest one to affect Rollins' knee, as it's something that's plagued his WWE career. In November 2015, Rollins tore his anterior cruciate ligament, ACL, medial collateral ligament, MCL, and meniscus in his right knee during a live event in Ireland. Now, that's less severe because I had meniscus surgery as well, and I was like walking the next day. But anyways, MCL, ACL, much more serious. He required surgery and was forced to vacate the WWE World Heavyweight Champion as he missed 7 months. Rollins then retore the MCL in the same knee in January 2017, but didn't miss much time. He tore the meniscus in his left knee in January 2024. Even though he was injured, Rollins still appeared on WWE as World Heavyweight Champion while taking part in the build-up to WrestleMania 40. He wrestled both nights of the event despite the injury and was instrumental in the Cody Rhodes versus The Rock and Roman Reigns storyline. He missed 2 months of action following the event.
Oh, wow. So do you think he might miss that much time?
Yeah, I guess
true.
I don't know. We'll have to wait and see. I mean, as we're going with the story that he's definitely injured his knee, I think we'll have to wait and see how serious it is. But my ultimate hope is that he doesn't disappear from TV this whole time, because he's just such an imposing force on the mic. I think he's unparalleled right now, except for maybe John Cena, and he's retiring. So Seth is kind of like the heir apparent villain of all of WWE right now, and he was sort of making that play for that. You even had John Cena saying like Seth Rollins wants to destroy WWE or something. Anyway, if he is going to be out for a significant time, potentially like till WrestleMania even,
it's a long time.
That's a long, long time,
And you know how quick the wrestling stuff moves.
It moves so fast. So fast. And so I'm hoping for the best for Seth, honestly. But I think you got to plan for the worst in these scenarios. And you've already heard that there's going to be a gauntlet match tonight on Raw that's happening for contendership for this matchup. So I'm sorry I'm sorry, as a contendership for Gunther at SummerSlam.
Oh, that's
so makes me wonder if Seth Rollins was supposed to be involved with something regarding Gunther and that World Heavyweight Championship belt. We saw Naomi cash in on the least likely opponent, because she had been eyeing up other people on TV, and then she goes and cashes in on people that she wasn't eyeing up.
I know, but it's an opportunity.
It was. And so you wonder if that could have happened with Seth, just like this.
Maybe they're going to play up that injury line, and then he will cash in at the least expected moment.
Yeah, I think the two big questions coming out of this injury is, A, like how severe is it? And will we know how severe it is? Or will WWE keep us in suspense? And, will they leave Seth with the briefcase? I kind of feel like they have to,
Yeah.
And does that mean that ultimately his return now is going to come in a cash-in moment. Is it makes me wonder.
Okay.
All right. Well, let us know what you think in the comments below. Do you think that Seth Rollins is going to hang on to the briefcase, or do you think that he's going to be forced to vacate it and maybe give Braun Breaker a title chance, or somebody from his stable?
Maybe. It's not a bad idea, but I don't think you can just pass it around. Like, well, somebody has to approve
I think you
it.
can do whatever you want with it. I think he even made a comment like, I can make a match out of whoever I want or something.
Okay.
So, and this was months before he even won Money in the Bank. Like, it was when he was making plans. Well, let's hopefully that the plans don't change too much for Seth Rollins, because I really want to see him cash in and become a champion and become a villainous champion at that. But either way,
speedy recovery.
Get well soon.
Yes.
And
are we gonna see Seth addressing this issue today on Raw?
Well, I think that'll be a huge question and something that I'm excited to see if he even makes an appearance tonight. For all we know, he is in Alabama. So I hope so, honestly.
Right.
I hope, because, real life and Triple H has been blurring those lines, and I think successfully. We saw it with R-Truth and John Cena. We saw it during that press conference. Like, all of a sudden, John Cena's slamming R-Truth through a table in the middle of like reporters that are supposed to be asking him questions. I thought it was pretty blurred of the lines. We saw Drew McIntyre go off on a Sports Illustrated interview on the Fatu family. So there's these little things that are edgy right now that I feel like are not being done by accident. I feel like that Triple H is driving some of this because he knows the conflict will just elevate the product, at least in the eyes of the beholders. And that's what wrestling is. It's an illusion.
Illusion and a lot of conflict.
So
Sell the drama.
yeah. Now, the one thing I want to mention before we leave, because we're not going to dive into the conspiracy theories, but Michael Cole did mention when this injury happened that he had tweaked his knee against Penta on Monday Night Raw.
Oh, really?
So does that slip of the tongue mean that this was a work? Because that means that the whole Goldberg speech going off after the air and everything is part of that.
So he tweaked his knee during the fight with Penta.
That's
and
what
then
supposedly Michael Cole said.
Okay, but let's go with that. So if he injured that knee, then he had this fight, re-aggravated the knee, or didn't do anything to it. They're just going to go with the injury because he needs more time to rest.
Possibly, yeah. There is like this hybrid theory out there, if you will. Like, so there's conspiracy theories that this is a work. You can go and find them and read them if you want to. But there's also like a hybrid theory emerging that like, well, maybe he was injured before this happened. Because the one thing I will say is I just don't feel like when he did that reverse somersault, when he lands, you don't see the knee really buckle. I don't see it. Not, I'm sensitive to injuries. When sports injuries are bad, I have a hard time watching.
You see them a lot in baseball with the knees and stuff like that. With when that happens, when the player runs.
I just felt like I didn't have problem turning away from this one, and it made me wonder, like, did something happen? So I could see them using the match as an excuse to get him written off of TV for a minute. But maybe he doesn't have to have like a major surgery or a reconstruction and a long rehab. Maybe it's just
tweaked his
maybe
knee.
he just needs to get a scope, an arthroscopic cleanup, and get some gunk out of there and be back in a couple months. I mean, we see arthroscopic knee surgeries in baseball and football even, and they're back in a couple months.
Yeah.
They're not out for the whole season.
All right. Well,
All right.
we'll keep you updated.
We'll see what happens. Get well soon, Seth.